her. It sounds like one of the most being told if she passed out, he would cut her throat.
He's insane. What in the hell? Like, bro, I don't know what y'all gonna do to him in prison, but I hope his elbows, feet, I'm talking about metal, all types, Glock dookies, all types.
Wanted her awake and fully able to comprehend everything he was doing to her. It sounds like one of the most
What is Savage like? Is that
awful things anyone could go through.
What up, YouTube? We back with another one. We still reacting to a Courthouse Channel video when entitled "Criminals Realize They've Been Arrested." This is part 5. Let's get into it. And this might be the conclusion.
Thankfully, nothing too bad happened in either of these cases, but that unfortunately can't be said for this one.
Stop it, God. Why do you stop it? Stop it, God.
What you just watched is school shooter Ethan Crumbley being forcibly restrained. In 2021, he brought a gun to Oxford High School. What you just watched is school shooter Ethan Crumbley being forcibly restrained. In
That boy built like a wet bag of rice.
2020,
What the hell? Skinny ass little boy.
21, he brought a gun to Oxford High School
What paper bag body ass?
and killed 4 people, while injuring 7 more. He was 15 at the time.
Why did you stop it? Why did you stop it? You let it out. I'm sorry.
What do you mean you sorry? You took multiple people out of the game. What is wrong with him? And then again, are you sorry you did it or are you sorry you got caught? I never know what y'all.
Hey, please, God. I'm sorry. Please, God. I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God.
At the time of this recording, Ethan was in jail and was being restrained due to what was evidently a severe psychotic breakdown. He was tied up like this in order to make sure he wasn't
On the Ku Klux fit.
a danger to himself or any others. If they had not done so, there is a good chance that he was going to attempt to take his own life.
Why does it look like a rock music video? Yo, you have to stop. I'm saying, though, a death metal music video or something. Nah, but y'all should have restrained his hands better than that.
This video was shown by Ethan's defense team at his hearing in an attempt to demonstrate that he should be declared clinically insane.
No, he should be declared dead. On the scene, should have got shot dead.
That was the defense they were going to try to go for.
Yeah, we're here. Yes.
Oh, this is a video of the
Sheriff's
shot.
office. Safe to come out.
Thank God.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door and look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he said, bro, you got the game fucked up. I'm not going. I'm not going.
He said, bro.
Get away
Red
from
flag.
the door.
This clip shows a classroom inside of the school during the shooting and demonstrates what the kids were going through. The person speaking from outside of the room was an officer,
I don't
but
care.
because he said bro, the students believed
I
it
don't
could
care.
be the shooter and didn't open the door. During his trial, several people explained that Crumbly had always had an obsession with violence. Even before the shooting, several
An obsession with violence. He weighs 100 pounds.
disturbing writings were found, and he had documented violence against animals. Victims are going to be testifying against him in court on December 8th.
They gotta relive that? That's horrible. I'm gonna say. Why didn't you stop it? Huh? You was the one with the firearm.
You couldn't stop it, God, but you didn't stop it.
So you gonna blame 12. And you did it. Alright.
And now I continue. It's always. Stop it. Guys, stop it, please. Stop it, guys. Stop, God, stop. Stop pushing forward. God, stop, please, God. Stop.
Ethan Crumbly eventually pleaded guilty to 1 count of terrorism causing death, 4 counts of first-degree murder, and 19
Damn, he got hit with terrorism charge? Oh, that's like 999 years.
other charges related to the rampage. His trial is still ongoing, but he is eligible for life imprisonment without the possibility for parole, the harshest penalty other than death. This case is terrifying. The next one, however, shows what happens when the shooting takes place outside of the main building. What you just watched is several officers who responded to reports of a disturbance in Jacksonville, Florida, near First Coast High School. They had just made a traffic stop at the entrance to the parking lot, and multiple people were arrested on gun charges during that stop. Moments later, however, people started running, and 15-year-old Devon Thompson began shooting at the officers.
Don't you fucking move! You got it? Grab him. You got him? Yeah. Stupid mother. Somebody handcuff him. Handcuff him. I ain't got handcuffs. Neither do I. Mine's on the other.
What the hell do y'all mean? Oh, I see, y'all ain't got no handcuffs. Y'all ain't got backup sets of handcuffs?
Guy. Put him on. You're hit? Who's hit? He. Where you hit? My head. Your head? Yes. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Hit me in my head. And right here. Where? On your hip? Yeah. Where? Hey, is that the gun? Yes. His gun's on him. Did you shoot yourself? No, you shot me.
Bro, you shot at us. Are you stupid?
Somebody shot me. All right. Hey, give me your shears.
It took several moments, but Thompson was eventually caught by the police. The officers, in those tense moments, had to decide whether or not to shoot to kill a 15-year-old. That is the kind of guilt that, no matter what, weighs on someone's conscience. In this case, they chose not to shoot to kill, and that paid off. Nobody, civilian or officer, was harmed that night.
Hey, can you get a med kit? Yeah. Med kit. Don't move. I know.
That's why they trying to cut your pants off so they can get to the wound.
Just calm down. Here. Hey, I'm sorry. I gotta pull your pants down. Where's the fire? Right here. Grab it. And
He's on his hip. I don't know how you did it.
you got it?
Devon Thompson was shot by the police, but it was in the leg as they attempted to stop him from running. He made a full recovery
How'd he get in the forehead though?
in the hospital after the fact. The gun that he used was reported stolen 5 days before this incident, though the person whom it belongs to has chosen to remain anonymous. It's very lucky that nobody else was hurt or killed in this scenario because wildly firing into the crowd definitely could have been much more deadly.
Do you know what this kid looks like? This kid is backpack too.
Bucky's.
Or deadly.
This is probably about to be off topic, but I hate what cameras
Do you know what this kid looks like? This kid is
Bro, show me him getting the
backpack
bucket.
too.
That was off. Edge on him.
The kid in the white and black jacket is Anthony, though his last name has been censored by the media. The school resource officer, named Paul Passarello, was notified around 11:40 a.m. after a TikTok video was reported.
He's stupid. Like, bruh. Yo, told you, social media, bruh.
To the school administration. In that video, 16-year-old Anthony appeared to have a gun tucked into his waistband on school property.
Are you Anthony? Come on. Sir? You know what I want to talk to you about? You don't know? Okay. All right. Do me a favor. Keep your hands out of your pockets for me. Okay. Take your backpack off for me. All right. So. Okay. Do me a favor. Just lift your sweatshirt up. Turn around for me.
Hands behind your back.
Turn around again. Lift your sweatshirt up again. What is that?
Anthony does indeed have what looks like a gun tucked into his waistband.
I ain't see it the first time.
Even though he's not actively attempting to use it, possessing a firearm on school grounds is a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years in prison and fines of up to $10,000. Schools don't take this kind of thing lightly. There are many that get students in trouble for even joking about bringing a weapon, let alone actually bringing one. Doing anything that the officer could interpret as dangerous could very easily get him shot in a situation like this. Investigation after the arrest revealed that Anthony stole the handgun from a relative's locked closet without permission, and the relative is pressing charges for the theft.
I almost got jumped 2 days ago, so I had so $200 on my wallet and I got jumped.
So.
You almost got jumped today, so you had that fire. That's pretty reasonable, right?
This back door. I'm not going to parade you through the gym, but we're going to go to my office and we're going to do the investigation. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. I have a purple light going off on the alert.
Hey, Coach, grab this bag for me.
Okay, sorry, never mind. Miss Linton, are
Anthony was taken back to the officer's office and eventually arrested. Anthony claimed that he brought the gun to school because he'd been robbed at work the previous week
Oh, he got robbed. I thought he said he got jumped.
and had to go straight there from campus. He is being charged with possession of a firearm on school property, grand theft of a firearm, and carrying a concealed firearm. He was transported to the Department of Juvenile Justice to be held in secure detention. It isn't known if Anthony actually planned on using the gun at school that day, but the quick actions of the resource officer could have saved countless lives.
We know this isn't easy, Tatiana, but we need to know what happened to her. What was going on?
So when did she start losing all that weight?
For the past 2 days.
But she's lost so much weight that you can't lose that much in 2 days.
Children, especially those under a year old, are in a very vulnerable stage of life. They rely almost entirely on their parents because there's not much else they can do. And if a parent starts to mistreat them, it will often end in the unfortunate passing of the baby. That is what the officers are discussing here with Tatiana Fusari.
I've never seen a child that skinny. Never.
Her 9-month-old baby passed away from what was reportedly a very serious case of malnutrition and dehydration. For a bit of perspective, a 9-month-old female child will weigh on average 18.2 pounds. Their child, Mary Welch, weighed 8 pounds.
Oh, I seen this too. R.I.P. little Mary. Yeah, the dad got life. I think the mom might have got life too.
When she died, which is closer to the average weight of a newborn baby.
Medical issues or nothing like that? Okay.
Not at all.
And is she in any kind of daycare? Does she have preschool?
No, I homeschool. I have my degree in early childhood
Oh, you do?
education.
Okay.
So
Good for you.
thought since being at home with the farm, I can at least give them an initial education before we do decide to send them off to grade school.
Absolutely. So, have you already?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Like, and what kind of stuff?
She is fluent in her alphabet, her numbers at least up to 20.
Wow.
Although she knows other numbers like 160, but not in sequence.
Okay.
She's practicing her writing. She just has a little issue with the numbers. They get a little backwards, but
Okay.
she knows how to spell words like hi, cat, dog. She knows that Elizabeth starts with E.
She kind of do better than Jason. The high and the cat and dog part. So does a doctor that she sees, does she have a primary doctor?
Not anymore. We
Okay.
did have. She's great and everything. We just we only go if there's an issue, and there just hasn't been.
Well, good.
It's morbidly ironic that Tatiana has a degree with early education, considering what happened to her child. She and her husband actually have 2 older children back home as well, and nobody had ever reported anything bad going on in their house. Now that this has come out, however, the police and Child Protective Services got involved with the couple's other children as well.
Thank God.
And she was eating more, and we were encouraging the solid food so she can gain more weight. So we just wanted. I was putting butter in her mashed potatoes so she can gain some weight.
So when she was growing, so now at 6 months, was she wearing 6T? Was she wearing age-appropriate size diapers?
Lengthwise, yes,
Length?
but she wasn't filling them out widthwise. So she was wearing her 3 to 6 month clothing.
And how do you feel about weight size? Was she okay, or she...
It's hard not to see Tatiana's behavior here as disingenuous. If she has any sort of education regarding children, she knows very well what a healthy baby looks like. She knows very well that her child...
She's had 2 other children beforehand. She knows what healthy kids look like in general. So, especially coming from her body, like, she knows she did.
Child wasn't healthy and should have taken her to the hospital, or at least called someone to check what was going on if she didn't inherently understand. Unfortunately, there is a reason that they didn't call for help.
What stood between you and help?
Religion? What?
I think that I was worried about another CPS call from the doctors, and I thought that
that's just stupid.
Mary would get better and it would be okay.
But at what point did you get better?
About 2 days ago. No, 3 days. 2 days.
So 2-3 days ago you thought she wasn't going to get better, so then why didn't we call then? What?
Because I thought that I was being doubtful, and
You thought you were being doubtful of Christ?
Yes.
Yes, she needs help. My guess is she's looked like this for at least 2 to 3 weeks. My guess is you were praying that she would get better with your faith. Because you knew something was wrong. I'm not saying you didn't necessarily feed her. Maybe you thought she had a disease or something, like you mentioned earlier. But she looked like that for a while, and you knew she had a problem.
During the trial, the prosecution presented evidence demonstrating that Mary Welch's death was preventable, and that her parents' neglect played a significant role in her passing. Medical experts testified about the severe malnutrition and dehydration the child had suffered, emphasizing that timely medical intervention could have saved her life. The defense, on the other hand, sought to highlight the couple's sincere religious beliefs.
I'm not going to talk about somebody's religious beliefs, but they're crazy. So I don't know. They're insane.
Asserting that they genuinely believed in the power of prayer. They argued that, from their perspective, seeking medical attention would have been an affront to their religious convictions.
But you didn't receive the help, and you knew that 2 days ago, you just said that she was probably, what'd you say, beyond help, or whatever it was 2 days ago. So what?
She's not beyond help.
At what point in this illness did you think there's a good chance she's gonna die?
I didn't think at all that she was gonna die.
Huh?
How could you not think that?
Delusional. I don't have a reason why I could think that. I was just being such a hopeful mom. I suppose I don't have a good reason for you. I'm sorry.
What was your conversations like with Seth?
You said a minute ago that you knew that he didn't want to go to a doctor.
Yeah, because we discussed it before. That we just
discussed her conditions?
Yes.
When was the first time you guys discussed that?
Maybe a month ago.
So a month ago is when. What did you notice a month ago? Because I'm certain you're the one, because you said that Seth didn't want to go. So obviously you're the one that brought up needing to go to the doctor. What did you notice a month ago?
That she was almost 9 months old and just wasn't filling into her clothing like she should, and we talked about it, and you just have faith, and we'll keep feeding her like we do, and keep nursing her, and keep her active, and she'll get there. It's okay, she'll get there.
Very skinny. She started putting on weight recently. We really started pounding the solid food down in the last month or so. Really making sure she gets some chicken, potatoes, cheese, stuff.
So when you started putting the high proteins, how recently was that?
A month or two.
Okay.
And
because that's what Tatiana said, is that probably the last month or two is when you guys actually became a little concerned about the weight.
Yeah, but I kind of was like, because my mom's always been honest about it. Always.
She's always on it. Get some food in this kid.
Yeah, she always like, yeah, wait, are you guys feeding her? Mom, go look at the garbage. I mean, I can't feed the kid enough.
Right.
If what Seth Welch says is true, then their child was, at one point, at an even lower weight than the 8 pounds she was at when she died. If Tatiana truly never thought that their child could die from this, then she is, as she said, completely delusional. Just looking at a child that small is enough to terrify most people, because it's truly grim. It reminds you of death, and it's an awful thing to do to a baby who can't even express that anything is wrong in any meaningful way.
What did you do when she told you that?
I split out of bed and raced to the room and,
So you're helpless, right? Like, what, you don't know what to do.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I could tell she was dead from looking at her.
But Tatiana couldn't.
She's a mom.
Right.
So.
Yep.
I'm used to dealing with a lot of dead bodies with the farm.
Yeah.
So I know what they look like.
Why are you saying it so matter of factly though? Like it's just of no consequence to you. Like, there's no skin off your back. Your child is deceased, sir. Hell.
That was that.
So what did Tatiana do?
She tried to do CPR.
Were you in there when she was doing? Were you in the same room with her when she was trying CPR?
Yeah, yeah.
And then what were you doing?
She's the one who knows how to do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I was looking and watching and thinking about what to do. Thinking about, just trying to think about what to do next.
So what did you do next?
Should have called police.
Call my dad.
Okay, and then what did you tell your dad?
No, what did your dad tell you?
I don't know what to do.
What he said.
Call the police.
Well, I kind of figured I was supposed to call the police. I don't know. I don't have any experience with it now. Well, I didn't then. I do now. So I just called him and, you know, said, hey, should I call the police or what? I don't know how this works.
You're stupid.
When the couple found their child deceased in her bed, they did not call the police as you would expect. Instead, they called Seth's parents, who are attorneys. The police were not called for another 2 hours after that point. There is unfortunately a heavy precedent for this sort of thing when it comes to fanatical religious people, who think that they can handle everything on their own, even if it's illegal. Many familial compounds attempt to live by their own rules out in the middle of nowhere, when they're still under the rule of law of the state and the country they reside within.
Hi, baby. Hi. How you doing? Happy that I'm with you now.
Me too. Did you talk to your parents at all while you were waiting? What's going on?
Yeah, because we're such bad parents. Not even allowed to talk to them.
It is clear that these people are truly heartbroken over this, Tatiana more than Seth. It was his distrust of the medical industry that kept Tatiana from bringing their daughter somewhere, even though both of their faiths prevented it from happening. Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari faced a lengthy legal process following their arrest in August 2018. The court proceedings were marked by intense scrutiny and debate surrounding the intersection of religious beliefs and parental responsibilities. The couple argued that seeking medical care for their daughter conflicted with their religious convictions, which led them to rely solely on prayer for healing. Ultimately, the court had the challenging task of weighing the couple's constitutional right to practice their religion against their duty as parents to provide necessary medical care for their child. In the end, after careful deliberation, the court reached a verdict. Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari were convicted on charges of felony murder and first-degree child abuse. The decision reflected the court's determination that, in this tragic case, the parents' neglect and reliance on prayer were not sufficient grounds to absolve them of their responsibility to seek medical care for their daughter. These people were ignorant, and that led to the death
Pray for her while she was in the hospital.
of their daughter. And due to this, they were both sentenced to life in prison without parole, despite Tatiana's defense that it was an accident.
And she also started blaming Seth like crazy on the stand.
What the parents in the next case did, however, was definitely no accident.
Why the baby screaming like that? "12, go get that baby."
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there?
12, go get that baby.
As you can plainly hear from this clip, there is a child crying for his mother in the middle of the night, specifically around nearly 3 in the morning. This might not be the most unusual thing, of course. Kids cry in the middle of the night all the time. But what you haven't seen is the 30 or so minutes that it took for the officers to get out here, after receiving a call from a neighbor that a child had been crying non-stop for nearly the entire night. Most parents, when a child is crying, will go to them and try to keep them calm. Maybe bring them a bottle, sit with them for a while, and help them go back to sleep. Evidently, whoever the parent is within this house does not care to do so. This might look like another parent being ignorant like the case before this, but no, this gets so much worse.
Hello? Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you the mother of these children here? Yeah, what's up? They've been screaming and crying? Yeah, they're playing. They have the windows open. That's what they do.
That's not playing.
They're not playing, ma'am.
Right, well, he looks like he needs some juice or something. He's showing me his cup.
Yeah, I was just about to go get them.
This woman does not look like she was just about to get her child some juice. It looks like she just woke up after ignoring her children for several hours. She attempts to lie to the police right away, saying that they're playing when they're obviously not. One of the kids was crying out for his mother, and when the officer walked up to the window, the young boy offered him his sippy cup as though he was asking for a drink. That is not a good look.
They're very loud and they scream a lot.
Yeah, it's called a kid.
Yeah. They scream a lot and they're very,
How old are they?
almost 2 and 3. They're very
Is anybody supervising them?
Yeah, I was just in there. Like, I was just in there getting them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my other daughter in the
So there's like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there supervising them? As they're screaming for the whole neighborhood to call us?
Right.
What the lady is saying is nonsense. She continues with lying. Before she opened the door, the police were looking into the room.
If you cannot take care of your kids, you should not have had them. Like what? Like the kid wasn't just forced upon you. You made decisions, and then a kid happened. Like what?
With their flashlights, and there was nobody inside. And like the officer said, there are tons of tiny pieces of plastic on the ground that could very easily result in a child choking. As any parent will know, children love putting random things in their mouths. Also, saying they are loud and they scream a lot isn't a good excuse. A lot of kids are loud and scream. This doesn't mean parents shouldn't take care of them. It's her job as a parent to make sure that they don't do that, either by actually paying attention to them, putting them to sleep at a reasonable time, or making sure that they have something to do that actually interests them, rather than leaving them alone in a room for hours whilst you're sleeping through it to avoid the situation.
And this apparently has not been the first time from all your neighbors calling in, saying that they hear this multiple times throughout the week. Do you have an ID with you?
It's in my room.
When was the last time you even changed their diapers? As it's sagging there, probably full.
They had a ton of juice, and it was probably an hour and a half ago that I changed their diapers.
Does this seem to be a safe environment for your children?
No. Look how dirty it is. Respectfully.
Yeah, it's completely safe. It's just, they're very, very loud and vocal. And since both of the windows are opened...
This is a safe environment, huh?
We're still cleaning it out. Their uncles and aunt just left and they trashed the place. So...
I'm not enthused so far, to be honest with you.
Neither am I.
Notice the cockroaches on the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see the...
So the screen was in there.
Yeah, the screen was in, but you see how they had the holes and stuff where they're pushing their fingers through, and I mean, I feel like you could easily push that out if you actually tried.
Okay.
It took her several minutes to, it seemed, a good amount of time to answer the door.
Making excuses seems to come very easy to this woman. It doesn't matter if the aunt and uncle just left or that they trashed the place. It's still her responsibility to make sure that her children are safe and well cared for. She has 3 children. It really makes me wonder why, considering she clearly doesn't want to take care of any of them.
When she answered the door, she was like groggy and tired.
Was the baby with her when she answered the door?
No.
Yeah, so she wasn't.
The infant was asleep in the bed. She seemed tired, groggy, kind of out of it, like she just awoken. And they were banging on the door that was locked from the other side. With an empty juice cup. Mommy, mommy, mommy.
With an empty what?
Juice cup.
Juice cup? Juice. Oh, juice cup. Oh, I was like, what's a juice cup? Okay.
So based on our findings tonight, okay, we do have probable cause to make the arrest on both of you.
Good.
Right? It's just not fair to what's happening with these kids. Alright, so both of y'all are going to be going to jail tonight for child neglect.
mean, it is what it is. What was you expecting? Like what? What are you doing?
Okay, DCF has obviously custody of the kids, and they're going to be staying with your sister, cousin. Is that what it is? Hopefully you guys are able to get out tomorrow. You can get back to your baby.
Yeah, with what? We have no money. I have no family.
I understand, but we
Should have kept your legs closed.
have probable cause to make the arrest.
We don't tolerate this. All right. The conditions they're in is unsafe for them.
It can often be difficult for police to make an arrest based on child neglect, because the parents often do exactly what the mother just did. They try to lie their way through it all, to the point where even if the police want to do something, they don't have enough proof to do so. Luckily, in this case, they did. Both Christina Coe and her husband, Gilbert Bridewell, were charged with 3 counts of felony child neglect without great bodily harm. Thankfully, none of these children were hurt.
One was like an infant, probably like 4 or 5. I think the other one was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
You've probably heard before that you should never leave either dogs or children in the car on a hot day, and you can probably tell already where this is going. This man speaking here was an Uber Eats driver that just happened to be driving by when he heard one of the children screaming for her mother.
I was just doing an Uber Eats here.
You're fine, okay.
Drove by and the little girl was hanging out the window screaming.
What, the windows was rolled up though?
Like the two how they are were kind of like how they are, but the 2 back were this one was up. The little like 3-year-old here was hanging out the car screaming, like screaming for her mom. So I stopped and I was like, "What's your mom's name?"
What's your name?
Steven.
The windows were apparently open, which is either a blessing or a curse depending on how you look at it. The kids are able to get a little fresh air, which many think is the right way to do it.
I mean, if it's still stupid hot, it doesn't matter. You're sitting in well, it's not a tin can anymore, but you're sitting in an aluminum foil can.
That little bit of air, however, isn't enough to sufficiently cool a car. This is paired with the fact that anybody could come along and break into the car where they've left their child alone. It's almost an open invitation for kidnapping, or worse.
The little girl was hanging out the window screaming for her mom. So I'm a parent. So I walked up to the car to make sure there was nobody in the car with them. And I asked her, I said, "What's your mom's name? I'll go get her." And then I saw the security guard and I asked him to come outside because this is a serious matter. And I was like, "You gotta call the police. This isn't okay."
Okay.
I'll go look at your mom.
Great Uber driver. Go ahead and get that man 5 stars.
Been in there for 2 hours. 2 girls in there with the windows for 2 hours.
So she's been checked in with us since 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m. Okay.
Evidently, the children had been in the car for nearly 3 hours at that point, in 80-degree heat. Think about getting into your car after letting it sit in that kind of sun for hours.
That's how I say 11:10.
All of you have probably brushed up against the metal part of your seatbelt and felt the burn. That's what these kids were left in for 3 hours. Not only is that incredibly dangerous, it's also just a mean thing to do to your children. One of them was leaning out the window and screaming for their mother. No matter your situation, nothing is an acceptable excuse for leaving your children in conditions like this.
And it's like
the kids would have just been playing in the plasma office. Simple.
Near 85 degrees outside. Inside that car heats up very fast. And children at a young age are they're easily raise their temperature.
I see he trying to expand his vocabulary. Susceptible.
Alright, so I'm gonna go talk to my sergeant here. We're gonna let you know how we're gonna proceed. We're gonna go to the hospital, get the kids checked out. I'm gonna notify Child Family Services. Alright? And we'll go from there, okay? Okay.
Children
Was you at work?
around 3 years old are, on average, around 31 pounds. It takes almost no time at all for them to go into heat stroke, and the fact that they didn't in this case is practically a miracle. They were taken to the hospital and monitored for several hours, but thankfully it looks like they're going to be okay. 21 children died of heat stroke in 2021. In 2022, there were 33 deaths, and in 2023 so far, there have been 28 deaths. It's awful.
But why does the number keep going up?
Because it's so preventable, and most of it isn't even willingly. Only 20% of these deaths are when a parent knowingly leaves their child in the car. Most of the other 80% is when they forget them in the car. It seems absolutely insane to forget your own child. And that's not what this mother did. She left them in that car for over 3 hours. There is some sympathy because she's a single mom that needed the money and probably couldn't get daycare. But even then, this isn't remotely an excusable solution to that problem.
Hey, what's your mom's name? What's that? What's your mom's name?
What is it?
Tamisha.
Tamisha. Yep. She was a new donor too. She's been in here for at least 2 hours.
Because the mother's name was censored from the news, it's difficult to do any follow-up and find if she was charged with anything.
Oh, she's a donor. Yeah. I don't know why it takes 2 hours.
Considering the severity, however, it's very likely that she was. Police have been cracking down on unaccompanied children hard in the past few years because it's such an easy thing to prevent and such a terrible thing to do to your own children.
Stop it before I hit us with an ad. So that's the end of the video. I want to make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Give me suggestions for other videos y'all want me to react to. And I'll see y'all in the next one.
To live is to conquer. To live life. To live life. To live is to live is like I just want to live is to conquer. I just pain got me feeling the conscience. Games turn me to a monster.